Yes, yes. Episode 1, guys. I'm buzzing for this. So, it's Paddy, aka Paddy's Paddock, and this is the Paddy's Paddock podcast. I'm looking forward to this so much. I was going to go onto YouTube, but I thought, you know what? Let's set up my own podcast. Let's give myself a platform to let you, the people, enjoy what I have to say, or, you know, you may not. I do sound very tired right now. I mean, it is 20 past 11 when I'm recording this. And, yeah, like I said, I'm just buzzing to do something that's completely out of the norm. I feel that this is going to be a journey that, you know, me and all you guys can go on together. I don't know how far this is going to go into. I don't know if this is going to be a one-off episode or I'm going to do so many. I'm hoping that this goes on for years. This is just my free space. This is your free space to kind of get yourself away from the world that it is at the minute. And let's just smash it. So, I think the first things first is Merry Christmas. If you listen to this on Christmas Day, you know, I hope you have a good one. And I hope you have a good New Year's as well. And right now the world is just crazy. It's completely mad in what's going on. I don't think we'll see anything like this ever again. But I'm not going to delve too much into that. I'm here to provide that distraction, and that is what I'm going to do. So, the first thing that we have to go into is obviously Boxing Day. That's why I'm here, and that's what I'm going to do on my first podcast with you guys, is discuss Boxing Day, Kempton. I cannot wait. Can't wait for it. 3 big races. The Kauto Star Novices Chase, the Christmas Hurdle, and of course, the King George. Oh, beautiful. Can't wait to come out of food coma 24 hours removed from that Christmas dinner and watch this, because it's going to be something different. It's going to be weird without the crowd. I know it's tier 4 and everything else down in the south, east and in London as well, respectively. So, strange one. No crowd at Kempton Park, but I don't think it's going to matter too much in terms of what the horses will do, because either way, it's going to be electric, and it will be electric. It will be awesome. And again, that's something I'm buzzing for. I'm not buzzing about this podcast. I'm buzzing about, you know, the racing. It's just so much is happening. And we will start with the Kauto Star Novices Chase. Now, there's been some illustrious winners of this race previously. Long Run winning the race marvellously before an amazing career, winning the Gold Cup, beating Denman and Kauto Star respectively, 2 of the greatest ever in the National Hunt game. He then won 2 King Georges, and he also won a Denman Chase. You can't get any better than that. And he came over here, his first race for Nicky Henderson in 2009, and he won this race. It was incredible how he won it as well. The horses he beat, granted, probably not the best, but respectively, he did what he had to do. He demolished them. He literally chewed them and spat them out. Simple as that. And I think the other famous winner has to be in the 2014 form of Conagry, who literally did what he said he would do, and that was destroy everything in that season for the Bradstocks. He was immense. He was something different, and you can't fault him for that season. He went on to become one of, if I remember rightly, I think it was the first novice in God knows, I think ever, to win the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Unbelievable. Slurring my words, you know. Is that nerves? No, it's probably just too much excitement. Let's go into the runners and riders though. Shanblue, favourite, as I currently speak. And is he a worthy favourite? Well, yes and no. He's demolished his fields in his first 2 races. He really has. He's won them with ease. The last race he really did deliver. I didn't even think this horse was a chaser when I saw him win, over hurdles, particularly when I saw him win over hurdles at Southwell some time ago. But despite the fact he's got to make up some form with the big breakaway, who was in front of him when Envoi Allen won at Cheltenham, it's tough for Shanblue. I can see why he's favourite, because he won really comprehensively, but I think he's better left-handed, and I think the pace will be fine. I just don't think he'll win. I think something's just not there for me. It's not sticking out. But I do think he's going to come out of this race really strong. He's got form ties with Shishkin, who's supposedly the next big thing. So we'll keep an eye out. Good form. Speaking of the big breakaway, he represents Colin Tizard, who won this race last year, and the same connections who own the big breakaway won in the form of Slatehouse. Wasn't the best renewal, but Slatehouse, nevertheless, is a Grade 1 winner over fences. I don't believe the pace of the race and the track will suit the big breakaway. He's a very big type, looks a chaser, has made mistakes, but at the same time I just don't think he's going to come together on Boxing Day here. I think he's going to struggle, and I don't want to really say that because it's not a case of I'm going to eat my words. I just think he's more built for further in distance. He looks like if he just gets his jumping together, he'll be perfect for a national hunt chase or an equivalent race in that sense. The other runner that I really wanted to mention, and I think he would be my one to watch for the day, is If the Cap Fits. He's a graded winner of the hurdles, the cheek pieces return, and usually that would be a concern for a horse to get the cheek pieces back on. Clearly there's something wrong with him. I wouldn't say that with If the Cap Fits. I think he's won a Grade 1 with cheek pieces on, and he's 2 from 3 with the cheek pieces on. That isn't bad. Sure, it's not a lot of data, but he's won big races with, that apparatus on. So that equipment being on doesn't bother me. If anything's to help the horse, and that's the main thing. As long as it's helping the horse, who cares? He's a battle-hardened type as well, and he digs deep when required. This will be his toughest test chasing, but to be honest, I think he'll put the form behind with Pim. He wasn't disgraced, but nevertheless, I think he was expected to win, and it's a shame he didn't. But for me, the yard are in form, and he has every chance. The other horses to mention, obviously Kaluki and One for the team. They both hold form together, but I just think this will be one step too far for them. One for the team did well in that Grade 2 at Newbury, but I just think he prefers that track more than anything. Enrillo will represent Paul Nicholls' flying form for the yard. Goes without saying. I think in terms of him looking as strong as the top 3 that I mentioned, I don't think so. But there's something screaming out to me, given the fact he's probably been primed for this, and I think he will handle Kempton. He's got form round the course, and Nicholls got a strong record in the race. He's won 4 times, with the latest being Black Corton, if you remember. Goal and Fortune is the last one to be mentioned for Phil Middleton, and the 8-year-old will probably need to be given a head start, and even though I think he'd be caught, I do like him. He jumped really well at Ludlow. I just don't think it's going to work out for this race. I think it will work out in the future, and that's not a disrespectful thing to say. I just believe that the horse will struggle in this. Very strong. Given that, I think I know where I'm lying to. I think you guys will know where I'm lying to. My prediction will be If the Cap Fits. and I think he's a nice price of 9-2 if you are interested in doing a bet. I'm not going to promote that side of it, but I do think he is certainly a strong contender. But there's going to be a lot of winners coming out of this race, and yeah, keep it on side, certainly. So we're going to move on to the Christmas hurdle. There might not be many runners, and they may not look like it's the most exciting race, but I think you're going to have the most exciting battle between Epatante and Silver Streak. Silver Streak does perform round here, there's no question, and I just love him. He is brilliant to watch, and he was so unlucky at Cheltenham the other day. I know it was a grade 2, but he was so unlucky. I thought he'd got up, and it wasn't the case. It was Tom Simmons' Song for Someone. But fascinating race in where, you know, the likes of Goshen obviously underperformed, but we know why, given the potential heart issue. So that said, it's nothing to take away from them two horses though that finished in the top 2. They were marvellous, and they deserve all the plaudits in what was a really exhilarating race to watch. Epatante though is just sublime, isn't she? She can't do anything wrong, and the fighting 5th win was just easy for her. Too easy. Should have been more difficult than that. I think it would have been had Silver Streak, you know, not been carried out. That was just desperate, and not so sleepy. Obviously unseated the rider. He was the horse that, you know, the loose horse that carried him out. Well, he's actually gone on and won since. He actually won at the weekend. You know, he won the grade 3 Betfair trophy. So who knows? Fortunes can clearly change, and they clearly have for a few horses from that race. I'm not going to dismiss Balliandy, you know, but I can't see him reversing the form, and I certainly can't see Floressa doing anything in terms of, you know, the mares in the field. I just think she's way outclassed. And Diego de Chamel, to me, he's not the one in this, and his odds reflect that. It's hard. I'm not going to put my neck on the line. I would love to see Silver Streak win though, but given everything, it's just a tough one, isn't it? Really tough race. The odds suggest that Epatante should walk this, and I understand, but Silver Streak will just battle, and I love that about him, and I hope that he wins. Just a little bit of a surprise. Finally, the King George. Oh, what a race! What a race! Can't wait. It's that excitement, isn't it? A big race, and what can I say? It's filled with class that are clearly going the Gold Cup or going their respective routes, and how can you not be impressed with the horses in the field? I'm loving the fact that Paul Nicholls actually got 4 out in this, so you'd expect him to win this, really, given that. But just because you've got 4 of the horses, not necessarily. There's some class in there, and there's a horse that I'm very controversial with in Santini, but I'll give him credit, he did run well at Aintree. I still don't think he wins this though. I think he's going to be taken off his feet, and it's a shame the Irish runners couldn't come over. It would have made it more exciting, but it is what it is. Clan des Obeaux, this horse loves it, doesn't he? He absolutely relishes it, and he had a solid run behind Bristol de Mai. Hard race, but you know, he had like 40 something lengths in front of Lost in